Hello everybody, Happy New Year 2019. Woohoo, it's pretty fun when we start off a brand new year. There's a lot of new beginnings in our life, and that's pretty exciting. But the only way to start a new beginning is to have closure to the ending. And it's so hard for all of us, don't you think, that sometimes our mind can be stuck in the past, or we have so much worries and concerns for the future. But we don't live in today, the present moment. And I hope that something in this video that I say may just motivate you, encourage you, or inspire you just to take on this new year, brand new year 2019, with a bang, and just have more of a smile in your face, in your heart, your mind, your spirit, and to experience the everyday joys in our life that only God can give to us within our souls. The little simple things in life we take for granted, right? And God, He woos us with His kindness. Through God's kindness does it lead all of us into repentance. And we don't deserve God's forgiveness. We don't deserve to be in a relationship with Him. We don't deserve to have salvation in and through Him. But it's only by His grace, in and through His love and wonderful grace. It's just a gift from God. We're able to receive it. And let's try to extend any kind of love, forgiveness, and kindness for the humanity of other people. Let's be a little bit more mindful to help to contribute some goodness into this world, to put a little smile in others' faces. It's hard to look beyond ourselves. For some of us, we may just naturally be so self-centered, self-absorbed, caught up into our own little world. Our mind is just so focused on our job, our family, or so many things, so many distractions in life. But let's take a notice of the people around us, because life is all about people. When you leave this world, who do you leave? You leave the people that you are in relationship with. And did you know, just a little act of kindness, it can go a long ways. I'll give you an example. Just today, I'm off of work right now, and I've been working as a hairstylist for 32 years now at my salon, my wonderful salon. And my station is pretty much in the middle, so I can pretty much see the doors from the front door and the back door and everywhere. And then there was not that many people working today because it was just after the New Year's. And I happened to notice this lady. I was working on a client, blow drying her hair, and on the side view I saw this lady trying to come in. And I noticed she had a cane, and it was a little older lady with a cane. So she looked like she was kind of struggling to open the heavy door. So I just stopped at the moment, and I just happened to run over there and just open the door for her. And what she said pretty much caught me off guard. Did you know that a little act of kindness to someone else that we may think is no big deal, but if we just go out of our way, it could mean the world to another human being? I opened the door for her, and she said, I've been coming here to the salon for 10 years now, and you are the very first person who opened the door for me. I was like shocked, but it seemed so meaningful to her, so significant, and it was so touching for me. Just that little act of kindness, going out of our way. But all of us, we get so caught up into the world, we don't look around us and see people who are in the need, however that may look like. Maybe some friends, family are in emotionally, physical need, any kind of need. And I just encouraged you, let's just plant some good seeds out there so we can just water it and just watch the harvest, that whatever we plant, the goodness that comes from God, His Spirit may just grow. That lady, I'm sure, to me, it just took a few steps, stopped what I was doing to open the door when I saw her, a little helpless. Nobody else was around. But to her, for her to say that, coming to the salon for 10 years, and I was the first one to ever open the door for her. Little old lady with the cane. And can you imagine when you stop to think? Your little act of kindness to anybody around us, to us, we may think it's no big deal, but it may mean the world to others more than we realize. So let's plant more seeds of kindness, of goodness, of love, forgiveness, anything to help the humanity to grow, to spread more positivity, to spread more good energy, spread God's love, His Spirit to others, because we surely need to help each other out one way or another. And God tells us one of the greatest commandments is to love one another just as God has loved us. So let us just engulf in God's love today. Envelop in God's love and let it just overflow within our hearts, that we may be able to have the strength, the energy, the soft heart, and the kindness to help others with this humanity. And we will make such a big difference in others' lives. I would like to share another story with you, if you don't mind. We just had the holidays, and this holidays, the Christmas time, was just incredible. It was amazing. I have two sisters. I'm in the middle, and both of them, ever since they were married, they moved out of state. So during the holidays, I've always spent it with my in-laws, with all their families, or with my parents. And my sisters and my parents and I, we've always done our holidays separately. Well, at this time, maybe the kids are older now, both of them were able to come and visit us in California. One lives in Korea right now, one lives in Colorado. They both have 3 children. They're able to visit us this year. It was glorious, amazing. We made beautiful memories. We took family pictures at the park, and we had lunch and dinner, opened gifts, spent a lot of great quality time. It was beautiful. But I'd like to share with you that sometimes when we make plans in our lives, you know, we knew that we were going to have 2 whole days together with the sisters, Christmas Day and the day after. So months in advance, when we knew that they were going to come down, we're trying to think of some kind of outing. Let's do something fun. Should we go to Catalina Island? Should we go to an amusement park? You know, we had all these ideas, but nothing was set in stone. Well, thank goodness nothing was set in stone. Because sometimes when you are just led and open to God's Spirit, things just happen so naturally and much more beautifully than you could ever imagine. It just flows. And with this new year, sometimes we can have certain goals, which is great. Or we could try to achieve certain things. Or we have all these plans set out. And we want to take control of certain matters. But I hope in this video, what I say may encourage you, something that I say, to help you be open and be led graciously in God's Spirit. Because when we experience God's Spirit in our lives, that compares to nothing other. And sometimes God's plans, and when we are obedient to God's Spirit naturally, it flows so much more beautiful, beyond amazing than what we ever could imagine. So the whole schedule, we went with the flow. Nothing went with what we were going to plan. Excuse me. So they arrived and everything fell into place just graciously. We all dressed up for the family pictures at the park, and we had dinner, we opened presents. We just went with the flow. The next day we met up for lunch, and then suddenly my husband mentioned, you know, I'm Korean, and for New Year's Day we usually have a Korean custom. We usually bow down to the elders. We say Happy New Year in Korean. And he says, you know, this is the first time that our whole family is gathering together, both of your sisters. And after lunch, when they come over to our house, we should pay respects, have us all bow down to your parents. And I said, wow, that kind of caught me off guard. But my husband just remembered when he was a little boy, he remembered a couple of men come to visit his father's house, and they haven't seen him in a long time. So these two men told his father, please go sit down right there. And they paid respects and they bowed down all the way to the ground, paying respect. For some reason, the Spirit of God led Andy to remember that memory and for him to suggest it to my family. So sure enough, during lunch, I quietly whispered to my sisters and my families, how about if we bow down to our parents in respect? It's not New Year's Day yet, it's only Christmas, but that would be wonderful. And they just graciously agreed. So after lunch, we went with the flow. I'm glad that my mother and father was in good, healthy condition and they were not tired. So we went to our house and we moved the living room open space. We all took turns. We told my parents, this is what we'd like to do, is say Happy New Year and bow in respect. At the end, we were hugging them. My father was in tears. It was so sentimental. It was beautiful. He didn't expect it. How meaningful is that? And it couldn't have been planned. We just was led by God's Spirit. And we enjoyed each other's company those 2 days. Everything flowed well. And if we tried to plan it out a couple of months ago, it wouldn't have went accordingly. So sometimes in our lives, we may miss out if we don't yield to God's Spirit and just flow and be obedient to it. You know, let's once in a while let go of our control. Let go of thinking we have to plan things out to the T. Because sometimes beyond that, things are much more beautiful and much more than what we can imagine. It is amazing. I love what it says in Ephesians. That says that God can give to us much more than we can imagine or pray for or hope for, overflowing. And sometimes we put a block to that because we want to be in control of our schedules or our partner or our children or our finances or whatever it may be in our lives. You know, fear may be the underlying cause of why we want to try to control things. Or we want to have certain things a certain way. Or some of us who may be perfectionists, you know, it's just hard for us. But I encourage you today, yield to God's Spirit and just walk obediently each and every day, letting God's Spirit just guide you. You know, God says in the scriptures, I will counsel you, I will lead you, I have my eye upon you. How beautiful and how significant is that? We are just not ordinary people. We are so special and we're so worthy to God. So just take comfort in that. God says, I will guide you. I will lead you with my eye upon you. We are the apple of God's eyes. We are so worthy, so significant to Him. And you matter. You matter greatly. You matter so much. So let us just today, just ponder and think about, let's do some good in this humanity as we take on this new year, 2019, and just flow in God's Spirit and be mindful to look around us and be kind to our neighbors. And we ourselves will be truly blessed and to experience not all the material things in this world or positions, but to really experience the love, the fellowship with one another, and to enjoy the relationships, the meaning, the significant, like when we bowed to my parents, how significant it was to my parents. My father was in tears. How significant it was when I opened the door for the lady who walked at the salon with the cane, and she was struggling to open that heavy door. So I just came there and pushed it open for her, wait for her to walk in, for her to even voice out, 10 years I've been coming to this place, and you are the first one to open the door. How meaningful those two scenarios, that will always stay. That lady and my father, those two little acts of kindness, just because we take the time out of our busy days, out of our minds being so consumed with so much that's going on and so much distractions and so much cares and worries and thinking, let us just take a pause and breathe, relax, and trust in our Heavenly Father. And God has a special plan for each and every one of us. 2019 is going to be a surprisingly successful year. Just wait and see. And you'll be able to experience it more if we yield more to God's experience in obedience to Him, and just fill ourselves with God's love, always in fellowship with Him, so we can do the greater good for the humanity, for this world. God bless you. I hope something I said may encourage you, inspire you today, put a little smile on your face, give you some hope and cheer. And if you're new to my channel, please consider to subscribe. For I'll see you next week. Happy New Year. Goodbye.